Welcome to another edition of Tok Piksa. I'm Meredith Kusa, filling in for your regular host, Neville Choi. Tonight we take a trip to the Hela province, where village farmers are being trained by the Fresh Produce Development Agency to grow vegetables. Pilot vegetable farms in the 3 districts of Hela are showing the farmers what to do to get into the commercial vegetable business. But first, we take a closer look at yoga in PNG, how a troubled young man has found solace in the discipline. Now he has become a positive influence on other youngsters living in settlements in Port Moresby. Their outlook on life is being changed by yoga. A newfound determination to be something other than what life and circumstance has given them. This is their story.
Like him, you concentrate, you practice, you now focus, you practice, you.
Paga Hill settlement near the outskirts of Papua New Guinea's capital, Port Moresby. Once a no-go zone, transformation has taken place, and from a very unconventional source, yoga.
Left down, head up.
Youth leader Alan Mogerema is driving this social change. He's a yoga instructor for a program introduced by City Pharmacy Limited, known as the CPL Youth Empowerment and Transformation Program. The program began in July 2012 and has given a new lease on life to youth living in the city settlements. From the Chimbu province, Alan has called the Paga Hill settlement home for 25 years. Like many of the youth that grow up here, he was involved on the wrong side of the law.
You come around downtown, come inside there, you get held up. And boys are very rough there, very violent. They just held up anybody they see that it's lucky. And when this program came in, it really helped me a lot. I changed slowly but slowly. I don't take drugs anymore, I hear my body. The corporate CPL group of companies saw the potential in me, and they selected me to go for a teacher training in Kenya. And all of a sudden, I was in the plane to fly to Singapore and then transit in Dubai, and all the way I was in Kenya.
Yoga is a physical, mental and psychosocial practice or discipline which originates from India with a view to attain a state of peace, balance and inner joy to bring out social and behavioral change in PNG.
MLP milog planti gut santintu. Samlab na mod minus ago lugilo neme mo se migo round looking. So me feeling mo mas to make it isla yoga.
Whenever I feel tension or pain in my body, I don't force myself to overstretch myself. I just respect my body because different people have different flexibility. That's why I don't overstretch myself. I do whatever my body can do, and I also practice limbs of yoga like perseverance. Perseverance meaning whenever whenever I see that a pose is difficult for me, I keep on trying my best to achieve the final posture. I also practice truthfulness on my mat. Truthfulness meaning whenever I'm in a posture, like 20 counts of breath, doing the 3 balance. When I'm in the posture, I keep myself in the posture until 20 counts of breath and I come out of the pose. I become truthful to my body and I don't come out of the pose less than 20 counts of breath. So all these limbs of yoga that I've practiced on my mat, I took it out to my daily life.
The outreach has even reached the prisons. So far, more than 40 juveniles and women prisoners at Bomana have been going through these sessions, taught and assisted by youth who have been practicing yoga regularly.
When we did a baseline study, we realized that some of the social problem that is happening here is because of this lack of integration. The body knows what it is doing is not right, but the mind, it's not following. We know that taking drugs is bad. We know getting drunk too much is bad, but we still do it because there's no integration. So what we believe is the practice of yoga on the mat, with its alignment, with its structure, with the way it does things, it promotes non-violence to the body, because if you if you do too much to yourself, you will feel hurt and pain. So we use yoga on the mat because we don't want to go out there and preach what is right, what is wrong. But what we want to do is for them to experience the yoga posture in itself on the mat.
Yoga also heals the body and aids in long-term trauma healing. Juveniles testify that before doing yoga, they had injuries and felt pain in parts of their body. Now they feel relieved.
Sometimes I feel flexible, blood and run lower up the body, but also sometimes no good. Carbon dioxide now will stay inside the body.
They even practice in the privacy of their cells.
I see that like Yoga Sutra in the MTV, it's just the same, and it's very I see that it's very important tool for change in our youth for today.
Who would have thought yoga, an ancient Indian practice, the answer to harnessing negative energy in settlements and turning it into a rejuvenated, positive form of exercise for many youths in the city. Villagers in the 3 districts of Hela are being shown the mechanics of growing fresh organic vegetables and turning them into lucrative businesses. The Fresh Produce Development Agency has developed pilot farms in each of the 3 districts of Hela, and using these farms to train local farmers on how to go about starting their vegetable supply businesses. Bethany Harriman takes us to Hela with this report.
This is a story about farmers from villages in 3 separate districts outside Tari, Como Magarima and Taripori, and Lake Copiago. Pilot farms have been established in these 3 strategic areas to train farmers on the skills needed to grow a variety of vegetables.
Growing cabbage, onion, broccoli, or potato.
In the last months, farmers had met in these pilot farms and got training from a Fresh Produce Development Agency officer.
I'm giving me blood this last school na me play talk thank you Lord you blood this lab on group. Na me play some big plus harvest red long. Planting potato, planting cabbage, planting broccoli, planting or something.
After the training, the farmers will cultivate on their own lands and use the new skills learned to build their own vegetable farms. The first story takes us into Taripori in the Tari district of the Hela province.
Cabbage, miat la garden, miat sa wakin nursery. Na nursery belum misa wakin natin la ground. Mino sa wakin dis la nursery na ol kam laini miya. Na misa planning miat lo garden, misa kissing, misa karangolo market. Misa sit down 6 o'clock, misa salim. Igo 6 o'clock, misa come back. Always about my up to misa sit down go, misa come back.
Misa box, misa contribute money. Mibla contribute now, mibla work mol necessary box, mibla buy him. So mibla sort lig now, mibla sabi mol DIY, and then mibla work him another box more again. Because it's something federal level to na or something more salim la again.
I'm putting federal one block up. Me planning cabbage seeds.
This is Vero Arico, a mother of 7 children who has taken part in the 2 weeks training program on how to nurse and plant vegetables such as the highly demanded cabbage and pak choy.
Man plomipla, picking plomipla, na family plomipla, na sambla we all no karim save long planim kaika, mi blacks in school, pla go out, long chats community chats or community, na mi black and line of sambla we all no save long planim kaika, na mixing lick school plomi, na mixing more school.
There are others like her in this area. They have all learned the proper techniques to build a nursery, from the initial stages of sterilizing the soil and then planting.
First time shade, me pla kisim 1+ spoon, 1+ spade, manual, na 3+ spade ground. Na me pla kisim, na me pla strain him, lo 1+ strainer. Na me pla strain him, na me pla pick him all good pla ground. Na me pla strain him, na put him lo bag. Na me pla put him lo bag, na me pla put him 1+ spade, manual. Na me pla tan him, na me pla kiss him all leaves, na me pla spread him ground, put him finish, me pla kiss him all leaves, na me pla broken, put him all on top, or cook him this la ground, one time, manual, mix him, go cook him, and fire straight, fire finish stop, okay, me pla larem stop for one night, and me pla cook him finish in the morning, me pla come, me pla tan him, na me pla necessary him back, so display ground.
And then leading on to fertilization and applying insecticides to the harvest. But as farmers continue working towards their objectives, more difficulties arise in the different stages of the project.
Market by staff because LNG staff, Tarrytown expand, na Monkaratu like develop na. This line mosam give me bla tintin lo. Go inside deep no further lo this la production blow me bla.
But all companies can look lomipla, government can look lomipla, lo salimol vegetables lomipla, igolo one mapemol can help me pla long. Salim disla.
Alex Etape, who is a graduate student from the University of Natural Resources and Environment, came home after completing studies to find his relatives still without money and services.
So, plus in lo into le hela inu good plus lo trouble da plus fight usla so. It's a project mila bago extended na go lauchu tu baga benefit na resource tu side set bago benefit. So it's a major project, so like starting here and then when work
Etape has since been working with the Fresh Produce Development Agency and his former lecturer, FDA Special Projects Manager Noel Kuman, to bring change to his own community.
The significance of this project is this area is a tribal fighting zone. And with the project, we are trying to bring these all warring clans together to engage them in this very productive activity so that they can be able to produce the fresh produce, be able to sell them so that they can able to generate income and very much move away from what they've been doing in the past.
Kuman says other trouble zones can also see positive change if there is a contact and liaison. Like Alex Etape, he played a pivotal role in getting the FPDA into a zone that was feared as a war zone in the past. The FPDA is a government agency tasked to create self-sustainability through programs that will enhance the quality of life through horticulture. The agency has been functioning with a staff of about 20 officers in Goroka and Mount Hagen. After successful runs with their pilot farming trials in Hagen and Goroka, they have now moved into Hela, which has huge potential due to the multi-billion Kina LNG project. Taripori farmers say they have the capacity to supply the LNG site.
So mi lagi mo sa kaman mas luksawa na company tu mas luksawa lo this product when mi working.
They've already begun talks with Exxon on how much they can buy. And there are other farmers who say that working in the gardens isn't the hard part, but in order to continue, a market must be given.
Man, na all Mary, all Mama lo backside, all community, mi blang got big blang grand apples and all this lakai. Mi blang one on him this lakai. Na mi blang pa plan him more. Na one plus something me like talk on behalf of Piripu community, humbly pie, me like to one blah Sabbath blah me blah need him White House, lo pan him market blah me blah big plus and then me talk. Market blah me blah.
The farmers also believe that farming initiatives will create the means for improving the lives of these younger generation who have already started fighting in trouble fights caused by the elders.
There is no better way to win a person's support and confidence in doing something by showing them someone who has done it and succeeded. This is what the Fresh Produce Development Agency is doing with their pilot farms in Hela. Local farmers are taking note from successful one-talks who have blooming business in the vegetable trade. Their experiences are teaching new farmers that all challenges have solutions.
A pilot farm at Wavia village in the Hulia LLG was the first in Taripori district to be chosen. The land on which the farm now sits belonged to this woman, Jenny Mandika, who used to be a public servant until quite recently. She had decided to go into farming.
So now me come back here, me buy block na Mr. here. Me buy this block worth long 30,000. Na me kisim all value na survey. He comes inside here na now me wanna me finish. All come up with some state land now. This ground now you missed that. Total of 4 hectares.
Jenny Mandika has used a large portion of her land bought several years ago to start her farm that has now become an FPDA pilot farm.
We block all the come now. You block stop one time me na me block and me got ground. Now you may start the planning more kai. Now you may can look him some government or company can help him can come now help him plan support him plan.
But like all farmers in Como Magarima, Jenny Mandika's farm can produce quality vegetables, but it needs to have the market to sell the produce.
Plenty people now me work lo mobilize him now work lo here. Only got big plus have now only got big plus like through lo work farm. Okay, the working finish now only work lo come complain lo me. Me planning finish na bambla market way.
Jenny, as well as other farmers around Hela, say they need seeds and a marketplace. The FPDA has praise for what this farm has achieved, being the first pilot farm project in Hela.
We have been using this model farm to train the local communities at the Hulia LLG so that they can go into fresh produce production and able to sell it at the local market as well as the LLG markets.
Mothers in the program say through farming they have been able to provide for their families' daily needs and their children's school fees. Meanwhile, a representative of the Hela Agriculture and Livestock Department has thanked the FPDA for their contributions to the sustainability in Hela.
Bin sawe ibla kamista ibla tok milai to thank you long ibla kamista one of the people below this hub area.
For such places as Magaro village in South Koroba LLG, Lake Kopiago district, the pilot farm program has only reached the area and work is still in progress. But there are daily improvements. Farmers here are hard-working. These farmers behind me are part of a pilot program designed to create self-sustenance. Now the program was designed by the FPDA to include 5 different villages from Magarima and Taripori. including this one in Magara village of South Koriba LLG in Lake Copiago. The training has been carried out by the FPDA and includes farmers. Hopefully in the near future, this training will include other farmers within the area.
And the FPDA has the confidence that this area will pick up to become a supplier for a variety of vegetables.
The last FPDA initiative, of course that's a first for the Lake Copiago electorate. We are beginning this year and we will expand to cover the other LLG from 2013 onwards.
Johnson Libya was a university student at the UNRE, and after graduation he came back to Magara village to help the people.
It's a privilege for my people in this community, and we had a 1 week training. Within this 1 week training, my people here, we have 13 clans here who have appreciated the training, and then they are well happy to accept what has been brought in by FPDA, and we have already taken this in consideration, and then it's already been implemented to each individual houses.
In a bid to improve the lives of the people in Hela, Johnson proposes that people sell the produce at a local market or the more lucrative LLG project.
And I will stretch here in regards to the market. Most people have asked a lot of questions when FPDA team go through in the Hela areas. They were asking a lot about the market. Where would they sell the produce? As far as I'm concerned, I have the market. The potential of supplying the produce is here with me. I have been doing this business with the LNG contractors, and I will be here as a buyer of this produce. And then I will advise any other agencies, any other buyers who are interested in this regard. I am here as a contact phone for buying. So we don't.
This is because the LLG project is expected to bring spin-off businesses for local communities. The Fresh Produce Development Agency also proposes that the people sell their produce to the project. They say it should be ideal for both sides. It also means ExxonMobil can now get vegetables just at the doorstep and save cost in transporting vegetables from as far as Mount Hagen and Goroka. There are also trainees trained by the FPDA to become village extension workers after they were selected by the local communities to participate in a course for several weeks in Mount Hagen. After 3 years, they will be certified VWs for their communities.
Oleh PDA, ikam long wipla long linim, disla way blo planim. Now me play hamamas me plakati interest mo long, make him disla work. Online me pla bin kisim bipla savena. Toki me pla, ipla no ken poliman na star. Mas puti man blo ipla la ground.
Tonight we have seen what determination can do to change a person's life, whether it is by learning the right way of growing vegetables and turning that skill into a viable business, or whether it is releasing the potential of one's mind enough to open doors to opportunity and a better life. We'll see you next time on Tok Piksa. Good night.